Hey babes, what's up? Today we are talking all things meal prepping tips, okay? So I'm about to give you 5 tips that are going to help you with your meal prepping, making it easier, making it less overwhelming, and then answering some frequently asked questions. So I started this yesterday as a 3-part series, and so each of these 3 parts are going to have 5 tips. We're starting out with part 1 today, and remember, we are starting out small, keeping it simple, reducing the overwhelm, making this easy to fit into your lifestyle. Guys, meal prepping without a doubt can be achievable, but I understand why it can feel so overwhelming and how it can feel so overwhelming in the beginning, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so most of you have probably already checked this out, but I made little infographics that go along with this YouTube video. So they're just quick tip reminders, a little bit of an overview so you can get a little bit of a feel of what's going on. Along with that, I've included a few links to my Amazon just for the products that I use and things that I am frequently asked about, just to make it easier for you guys, okay? So let's get started with tip number 1. Okay, so topic number 1 is going to be weighing your food. I have 4 different tips that actually go underneath this little umbrella of weighing your food. So number 1 is get a scale. I can't preach. You know what? I'm just gonna get my scale. I'm gonna show you my scale. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back with my scale. I've literally had this scale for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years now. This thing has been good to me. It's still going strong. I've only changed the batteries once. Unbelievable. So this is my food scale right here. Super easy, super small, compact. I've dropped this thing like 12 times. It is unbelievable. So I actually linked a scale on my Amazon as well. It's not the exact one that I have because this one's so old I actually couldn't find it. But it's another one that I know is very good as well. It's only like $9. So really, what are you doing? You need this to weigh your food. Okay, so when it comes to actually weighing your food, I can totally understand why people get super confused because there are no clear-cut rules on how to weigh your food or how to measure your food. Some people are like, okay, a fist size of this or a handful of that. No, we're gonna stop that now. First off, we don't eyeball our portions. Here's why we don't eyeball our portions. Let's say you're just gonna have a handful of nuts as a snack and you get a handful of nuts. Well, that handful of nuts, depending on how big your hand is, okay? But that handful of nuts is probably 2 or 3 servings of nuts, like compared to what the actual serving size is. The actual serving size is like 18 nuts. So just taking a scoop or a handful and saying, oh, I had only a scoop of nuts for a snack when you actually had 3 portions, that's going to help you go way over those calories, and you don't want that. So because this is a vlog and I get to go a little bit longer than I do on my stories, I kind of want to like break off onto something real quick. Kind of a different topic, but all ties into the idea of meal planning. So some people really feel like and have portrayed the idea of meal prepping and weighing your food to be restrictive or like a poor mindset. Like that's stupid to me. Like it's stupid that people view getting exactly what their body needs to help them thrive as restrictive. Again, guys, it's a mindset. If you view counting your calories or counting your macros to get exactly what your body needs to either A, feel good, B, reach your goals, or C, both of those put together, that is not restrictive. That's called being smart, okay? We want to be smart about our goals. We don't want to eyeball and guess our way to our goals. We want to have a scientific approach, right? Weigh your food, okay? It doesn't have to be a restrictive mindset. It's all about how you view things, and I don't view it as a restrictive mindset. I view it as a vehicle to get to my goals as quickly as possible, not only getting to my goals, but feeling my best along the way. To me, that's not restrictive. Again, that's just a smart approach. So it's all about how you view things. Okay, so let's kind of come back into the video here and talk about actually weighing our food. So I have a couple of props. Brought a few things. Oh, now I'm throwing stuff. Okay, we have a couple of props here. And these are the things that I really want to talk about in regards to weighing our food because this is where I get the most frequently asked questions. Okay, so first I want to talk about meat, then we're going to bring all this back in just a second. So when do I weigh my meat? This is one of the most frequently asked questions that I get. Do I weigh it before I cook it or do I weigh it after I cook it? You're gonna weigh it after you cook it. Here's why. And you guys have probably already noticed this. This is why I'm getting the questions, is when you buy the meat and then you cook it, it cooks down, right? So you end up with less meat than when you start it. So this is why we wanna weigh it after we cook it. If we weigh 4 ounces before we cook it and then cook it, you might end up with 2 or 3 ounces, and that's not enough protein. We wanna make sure we're getting 4 ounces of protein. So the next question I get is, how do I know how much to buy because it's going to cook down? Here's where we're just gonna make some really smart decisions, okay? And then we're gonna talk a little bit more on actually weighing the food here in a second. So when you go to the store, let's say you need 4 ounces of protein and you're gonna prep for 3 days. So I usually prep 3 to 4 days at a time. So let's say we're prepping 3 days at a time, you need 4 ounces of protein for each meal, right? So 4, 4, 4, that's 12 ounces of protein. So are you going to go to the store and buy only 12 ounces of protein and then cook it and then end up with like 8 or 9? No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna buy a little bit more than you need, accounting for the fact that it's going to cook down. So exactly how much more do you need? Again, this is where we're just gonna make a really smart decision. So let's say that you know you need 12 ounces. Maybe you're gonna buy a pound. Maybe you're gonna buy 16 ounces instead to make sure that you have enough. And if you have just a little bit extra, it's gonna be just fine. You're just gonna add that to your meals, divvy it up evenly. It's okay to have a little bit extra. We just want to make sure that we have enough. So once you're done cooking everything and you go to measure it, let's say that you need that 4 ounces. You have your food scale turned on, set to the ounces, and you need 4 ounces, right? But remember, we bought 16 ounces just to make sure we had enough for when it cooked down. So maybe you have 4.35 ounces. Don't stress. This is where that overwhelm starts to kick in and everybody's like, I can't get it on point. I can't get it perfect. That's okay. You're literally 0.35 over. That is gonna be just fine. You don't need to clip a little piece of chicken off to make sure we get it right on that 4 ounce mark. I just wanna make sure that you guys are within 1 ounce of what you're trying to achieve. So if you're at 4.35, you're gonna be just fine. It's not going to hinder your results. A little extra protein's not gonna kill you, okay? I'd rather you be a little over than a little under. Okay, so let's check this pasta out. On the back, it says serving size is 2 ounces, and it also says dry. You are weighing your pasta dry, okay? Imagine that pasta after it's cooked, absorbed all that water, it's super heavy. Imagine weighing out 2 ounces of cooked pasta. It's gonna be almost nothing. You wanna make sure that you're weighing it out dry because that's what the nutrition facts are based on, the dry weight of the pasta. Once you cook pasta, you know it grows, it turns into more pasta. So you wanna make sure that you're divvying it out and measuring it when it's dry. So this is a little bit of a confusing one, but remember, you cook that meat and then weigh it, and you weigh your pasta and then cook it, okay? Try to keep these little, I have them actually pulled up right here just so I can look at them as well. Make sure you keep these on hand as a little reminder in case you forget as you're going through your meal planning. So the last thing that I wanna talk about when it comes to weighing out your food, I have my food scale here, is grams versus ounces versus cups versus tablespoons and stuff like that. Because again, yes, it can get confusing. Here's why. On the back of this, I'm looking at my peanut butter now, my almond butter. I have serving size 2 tablespoons, and in parentheses, it says 32 grams. So if you measure out 32 grams on your scale, and then you measure out your tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, they're going to be very, 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 very close. However, grams is going to be the most precise way to measure your food, okay? Because again, it's going to get it down to the gram. When you do your tablespoons, it could be a little over, it could be a little under. There's a little room there for error as opposed to doing the actual grams. Now I can understand the question. You're like, but we were just talking about ounces. Now we're talking about grams, and now we're talking about tablespoons. Now I'm really confused. I get it, okay? I totally understand. Here's the thing. It all turns out to be the same macros, okay? You don't have to do it in your head. It's not like you have to figure out this equation of ounces to grams to tablespoons to cups. Like, you don't have to do any of that. And I'm gonna use this pasta as an example again. 2 ounces or 56 grams. If you weigh out 56 grams on your scale and you weigh out 2 ounces on your scale, it's gonna be the same macros, okay? It's not going to change. It's just giving you the different options. 56 grams is going to be as close as possible, and 2 ounces is going to be very close as well. Honestly, I do ounces. I don't go down to the gram. I know if you're doing like bodybuilding, bikini competitive, and you have to make sure you're right on point with your calories, of course, going to those grams is going to be more precise. I use ounces, and honestly, like tablespoons, it gives me the options for grams or tablespoons here. I do tablespoons. For me, that's easier. here. I don't care if I'm a little over or a little bit under. I'm just trying to get in the ballpark of where I'm supposed to be. Remember, this whole thing is about reducing the overwhelm. So don't worry about perfection and just focus on progress. Okay, so that was your intro into weighing your food. Yes, it can seem a little bit confusing at first. Yes, it can be like a little bit stressful, but trust me, you will get the hang of this. And just paying attention to your serving sizes in general, if you're not ready to track and you're not ready to get a scale or anything yet, just being aware of serving sizes is a really big win here. So just focus on that and keep pushing forward. Because next, let's talk about planning in advance. My favorite thing is planning in advance, okay? Here's why. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And it's very true. If you're waking up every day just trying to fucking wing it and getting it from Starbucks and Dunkin' and maybe getting like an acai bowl somewhere else, you are not giving it your all. Start giving it your all. Yes, you can enjoy that acai bowl sometimes, but they're really loaded with carbs and sugar. So we just want to make sure that we're making great balanced choices 98% of the time, okay? So let's plan in advance here. Figuring out a schedule that works out for you is going to be the most important thing. I see this all the time where people want to try things that their friends tried or something they saw online. And right there, I can see that maybe that specific diet they're mentioning is not going to work. Here's why. Do you love potatoes? Keto probably isn't going to work for you. Do you love wine? Whole30 probably isn't going to work for you. Okay, you have to find out what works for you. And I would say 90% of the people live within this. We need to find balance here, okay? There are the extremes that might do Whole30 for the rest of their life or might do keto for the rest of their life. There are people that do that, and that's fine if that works for them. But I'd say for 90% of the people, we're just hanging out here in the middle, trying to fucking find something that works for us and our lifestyle where we can also enjoy it. And that's the goal. We want to enjoy it. You guys see me enjoy wine. I love wine. Would I ever give up wine? No, I don't need to give up wine. I don't want to give up wine. I can still reach my goals and have a glass of wine at the end of the day. So why am I going to take it to the extreme just because I saw Sally Joe got really great results not drinking wine? Good for her. Good for her, big time, but I'm still gonna be able to reach my goals in a much more balanced way. And that's really what I'm trying to tell you guys here, is if the Whole30 works for you, fucking crush it, that's great. But find something that works for you and your lifestyle. If you're a mom and you have to cook dinner for 4 people every single day and you need your wine to cool down at the end of the day or you need your coffee to get ready in the morning, that's cool and you can totally work that into your lifestyle. So just stop trying to grab for extremes. We don't need extremes. We need balance and consistency. Every single time will outdo anybody who's going for an extreme, okay? Because you know what? Slow and steady wins the race, babes. I'm telling you, always have, always will. Okay, moving on. So another frequently asked question is what I do personally for my meal planning. So, like I've told you guys, I allow myself grace week to week. If I've got a really, really busy week ahead of me, I'm gonna make sure everything is cooked, planned, ready to go, like grab and go style, where I can literally grab like a Ziploc baggie of apples and hard-boiled eggs for my snack and be on the run. Not even like needing to peel the egg or cut the apple. I make sure the shit's ready to go because again, we're planning for success. If I know that I'm gonna have a slower week, some of my clients are out of town, I'm spending time at home, I might plan out my meals so I know exactly what I'm having, but I might cook them fresh day to day if I have the ability to. So right there, I just give myself some grace and flexibility, but here's what I do most often, because week to week, my clients pretty consistent, don't do a whole lot of vacationing, so week to week, this is what I like to stick to as much as I can. Breakfast and snacks I prep for the whole week. So like I talked about, the apple hard-boiled eggs, I love to have those ready to go, little snack that has a healthy carb, a healthy fat, a lean protein. And for breakfast, I love to have peanut butter and 2 eggs. As for lunch and dinner, I prep those 3 to 4 days at a time. So this is something that I like a little bit more variety and flexibility with because if you know me, girl doesn't do leftovers. I fucking hate leftovers. Leftovers are the worst. When it comes to freshness, your Tupperware choice, believe it or not, is going to make a huge difference. I'm somebody that can vouch for this because I used to use cheap plastic Tupperware and literally Everything always tasted so gross. Nothing ever tasted fresh. I started using Pyrex, the glass Tupperware. Yeah, it's a little bit of an investment, okay? But so much better. 10 out of 10 recommend switching to glass Tupperware. I've linked the glass Tupperware that I use as well on my Amazon store. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it anywhere, but just to show you exactly what I use with the latching sides so nothing falls out, especially when I'm taking my meals on the go. Honestly, guys, there are so many ways to make your favorite meals healthier, okay? So just stop focusing on, I need to have chicken and broccoli and that's it. No, you can make delicious, healthy meals when you plan in advance. Find some awesome recipes and make sure to pick recipes with minimal ingredients. Like, don't overlook the fact that you can throw chicken breast with salsa, a little bit of cheese, and some black beans in a slow cooker, and that shit's fire. It is so good. Throw a little taco seasoning on top, stir it up. It is like the easiest meal, minimal ingredients, literally grab and go, dump it all into one, and it's done for you. You don't even have to sit there and watch it cook. Okay, honestly, I had to take a little break to get a protein shake because I was so hungry I couldn't think straight. So to finish up planning in advance, find those recipes, plan those recipes in advance. Don't go to Publix and try to go shopping and look up recipes as you're shopping. Again, gets overwhelming. Maybe we're gonna pick something that has too many ingredients. Maybe we'll forget an ingredient, something like that. No, we're not gonna do that. Here's why. In addition to all these fun infographics, I also made you guys a shopping list, like easy shopping list, split up by frozen, dairy, vegetable, easy as pie. Make it super simple for you not to forget anything. Make sure you plan in advance, write down everything you need, go to the store, execute, get exactly what's on the list, and leave. Don't buy the cookies. Okay, next topic, real food, but make it quick, okay? There's no reason that we have to plan every single thing from scratch, guys. Of course, it's best to buy everything fresh, make it all from scratch, but I get it. Let's be real. Some weeks, we just don't have time to do that. Here are some examples of some quick ways to make whole food meals quick and easy with a lot less time. And here's the thing, I don't ever want to hear again that you're getting takeout because it takes too long to cook. Like, no, bitch. You sit there and you wait 55 to 65 minutes for your DoorDash. You have time to make these healthy swaps and make a healthy meal, okay? I get it. Does it take a little extra effort? Yes. Does it take effort to get us to where we want to be in our lives? Yes, okay? Channel that effort and focus it on yourself, okay? Right here, right now is going to be a huge game changer if you take this advice. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's talk carbs. Some easy, healthy options for carbs. Think ready rice or ready quinoa. You know those little cups, those little fun cups? You know the great thing? They're already a serving size. They're awesome, they're inexpensive, so they're budget friendly, and they're already ready to go. All you have to do is pop them in the microwave for like a minute. They also have the pouches too if you need a little bit of a larger portion. Let's say you're prepping for your family, your kids, whatever. Get the pouches. Again, ready to go, pop it in the microwave, easy peasy, healthy choice, aside from, let's say, getting some dinner rolls or something like that. Quinoa is a complete protein. It's going to have a lot of great benefits in it, and it's quick and easy, just as easy as serving a dinner roll. Next, let's talk veggies. My favorite, of course, favorite place in the store, produce section, you know it, steam in a bag veggies. It doesn't get any easier than that, okay? There's no reason you need to buy the frozen, pre-made, cheesy bullshit with all the preservatives in the frozen section. Just get a bag of steamable fresh veggies. Throw them in the microwave for 5 minutes, season them with something delicious. You can even put a little butter on them. They taste amazing. Okay, let's finish up by talking about meat. A few different options here. You can either go to the frozen section, pick out those pre-packaged, pre-cooked chicken breast, already ready to go, literally pop them in the microwave, about as easy as it gets. You can also buy pre-packaged chicken breasts that are not cooked, so they're already cleaned, ready to go. You just pop them in the oven, cook them there. And then you can also go as far as getting some canned tuna, canned chicken, canned crab. Right here, this is going to be really dense protein that is literally as fast as it gets. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the fly and made tuna salad for lunch because it's quick, it's healthy, it's easy, it's minimal ingredients, and I love it. I mean, right there, that's everything we need in a meal plan. All right, babes, we've made it the final topic, keeping it simple, keeping it basic. My favorite thing is not letting the overwhelm control me, okay? So frequently, especially if you have anxiety, it's just the feeling of overwhelm, and it's like, I have too much going on, I have so many things to think about, there are so many guidelines to follow, I'm just not gonna do it. The same thing, you know, when you're like so stressed, you have so many things to do, you just wanna nap, kind of the same thing here, but we're not gonna do that, okay? We're going to conquer this, we're gonna understand meal planning better, and we're going to take this into our everyday lives and turn this into a lifestyle. So start small. Don't let the overwhelm of seeing all these even my shit, like don't let all the overwhelm of seeing me prep breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks every single day make you feel like you're falling behind or make you feel like you're not doing enough. This is something that I've done, and a lot of the people that you're seeing have done this for so many years. I could meal prep literally blindfolded, okay? So if you're just getting started, start small. Don't be afraid to just get started with breakfast. So instead of worrying about changing everything all at once, go for one thing at a time. That's one thing I did when I first started. I think everybody's done this, where you go balls to the wall, like right out of the gate, and you feel so overwhelmed and you can't even stick to it for a week because you've literally changed everything about your lifestyle all at once. That's not gonna work, and that's never gonna work. So let's start this time. Let's have one more day one and start this time with just breakfast, okay? Start with planning just breakfast. That's all I want you to worry about. If you're thinking about meal prepping next week, all I want you to think about is I'm going to fucking crush breakfast. I am going to do the best I can for meal prepping breakfast, and I'm gonna stick to it all week, okay? Once you get in that routine, it only takes like 2 or 3 weeks to get into that routine, then add lunch, okay? That's how easy it can be. Start with breakfast, get it down, own it, and then move to lunch, okay? Don't try to skip forward, don't try to skip steps, one thing at a time. Stop picking recipes with 4,000 ingredients, okay? Keep it simple, keep it balanced. I'm gonna give you a really easy example right here of a balanced meal, and you're gonna be like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I've been overthinking this the entire time. So for example, a peanut butter and jelly with a protein shake is a balanced meal. It has carbs, it has fats, it has proteins, okay? You're getting that protein from the peanut butter and then primarily from the protein shake. You're getting that fat from the peanut butter, and you're getting your carbs from the bread and the jelly. Right there, you have a complete meal. I want to ask you, ladies, is it hard to make a PB&J? The answer is no. Should you have a PB&J for every single meal? Probably not. But as a balanced meal, as you're getting into meal planning, having a PB&J and a protein shake, having your balanced carbs, fats, and proteins, making it easy, reducing the overwhelm, and staying consistent, and having a PB&J, okay? All of these things are wonderful, and there's no reason that you can't make it that simple. Keep it easy, keep it simple. Let meal planning work for you. You don't work for meal planning. Let it work for you and your lifestyle. All right, babes, that is it. We covered everything I wanted to cover for part 1. Remember, you can check this out on my website. I am putting the link right below so you can get your shopping list and also your little infographics if you just need a few tips to take to the store with you to keep you on track. Remember, if you have any questions, you can always comment below or ask me directly. You guys know I'm open for all the questions. Have a wonderful day. Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And you know what we're not gonna do next week? We're not gonna plan to fail. We are gonna own it. You are gonna own it. Let's do it. No excuses. Have a good day, babes.